Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another month, another edition here of the Amantes de StarCraft. Oh, hello? Oh, hold on. What am I meant to? Yeah. Welcome back to the Amantes de StarCraft number 44, a monthly Brazilian-only tournament. Every single month. It's great to be here, great to be back once again, and hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing well for yourselves as we are just quickly, there we go, as we're quickly setting up here for the monthly broadcast of Brazilian StarCraft. Now again, I do apologize, we've been pushing this back week after week after week after week. It's just been such a busy time here on the CranKy Ducklings with GSL, with RSL, with our other regular weekly tournaments, with Kung Fu Cup, and we just haven't had the time to actually squeeze this broadcast in. So this is a little bit delayed, a little bit late, as we already have Amantes de StarCraft number 45 in the pipeline, I should say, but we finally have a little bit of time to catch up on these events. And if you notice, with our events like this, events like StarCraft Evolution tournaments, for example, where we just have not been able to keep up as much as we would like, just because there's just so much going on. It's too much, Pappy. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. But again, our broadcast schedule has been a little bit too full for us to handle, and we've been turning down events. We've been joking about being unable to cover the Inu battles, for example. That's not an example of an event that we just can't quite cover. But regardless, we are playing catch up nonetheless. And it's time to jump in. Time to jump on in. We're going to be featuring MasTeR versus Erik, a PvZ covering one of our boys, Pappy, here in the upper bracket quarterfinals. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be jumping on in. Those are curious, again, Erik, he's one of our own. He's one of the CranKy Ducklings. He's been a part of the team for many, many years at this point. He's our boy, Erik Braga. Likewise, MasTeR, he's the best Protoss player in Brazil as well. They're the two best of their own respective races, but they're facing up here early on in the bracket. Let's jump on in. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Brazilian Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the Brazilian Zerg. He's one of our own, representing the CranKy Ducklings. What does he stand for? He stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. It is Erik. Let's go. Let us go. We're settling into our PvZ, and when it comes to our initial matchup here, again, when it comes to Amantes events in general, we have the standard ladder map pool. We have the standard ladder map pool here. We're not using the TLMC maps, of course. That is only for a select few amount of events. Just bear that in mind, as Erik does go for the initial hatch first into what looks to be a hatchery block across the map. Erik is very fond of this style, very fond of this build on this map. I mean, not just on this map, just in general, just period. Bearing in mind the goal here is to disrupt, delay, and try to throw a wrench in the works when it comes to the build of choice of MasTeR. I would say at this point, MasTeR, he's played against this enough where he should be aware of the follow-up. He should be aware of the response. Yeah, a couple of boys are pulled, so a big reaction here from MasTeR. Again, he knows that there's a very real chance that this is a real hatch block. So it does send a second worker. And will expand. Behind this, Erik did throw down his gas into his spawning pool, so it was a fake out. And again, usually this would be a bad thing here for Erik, but he did force a second worker down into the low ground. Again, Erik, he is one that does mix in very real hatchery blocks, and this is more of a mind game more than anything. Erik, he was already transitioning out of this, getting into his own faster spawning pool setup, and for now, just trying to delay the economy, trying to be as annoying as possible, just being a nuisance here in the main. Let's go. Now, when it comes to Erik's typical style here, he's often a very unorthodox player, often very unorthodox, willing to mix things up and go for different styles, different builds. When it comes to his PvZ as of late, we have been seeing some heavy roach-based play. We've been seeing some muta plays. Oh my god. As we do go for the hatchery inside of the main. Very delayed, might I add, as well. Much later hatchery timing here. There is no Zealot, of course. Adept is on the way. Adept will help. The hatchery does not scout the tech, but it is going to be a Stargate standard follow-up here at a MasTeR, and we'll see if Erik does make use of this in some which way or form. If the hatchery does finish, we'll have Larva to work with. Link speed is on the way, but there is no early roach one yet to try to go for like a roach roll in and make roaches inside the main. Like, there's no full shenanigans for the time being. I would say that against an inexperienced player, MasTeR would pull the boys. He'd pull the boys to deal with this, and then you deny like 7 to 9 workers mining, and then that pays for itself. But here, MasTeR, he's not really reacting, not really responding. He's just letting it get up. Again, there's no major reaction here from MasTeR. Getting a safety battery. A very calm, collected response. Meanwhile, the Lings, they do get in. They get one. And they get one. They get two. Two probes going down. Not bad. Does catch a couple of workers. At the same time, that does go down across the map. Nice pick up there by Erik. Nice snipe. Nice pick up. Hatchery does finish. And again, we'll see if we make use of this. So far, we're banking larva. So far, we're banking larva in the main. We can always make Lings and head for the natural instead, as there is no battery in the natural base. And again, we're holding onto that larva. Holding, there we go. Lings are being made. He does pull away. Third base are being taken. MasTeR, of course, does notice the eggs. He does notice the cocoons, and the Oracle does turn back around. And he's at home, right? He's at home. He should be able to deal with this. We might get one probe kill, maybe. Up, goes in, gets one. Yeah, one probe, 6 things. It's a heavy loss here for Erik. Bearing in mind, behind this, we're going for the all-in. We're going for Overlord Speed. Now, typically, Overlord Speed is never researched unless you're going for an Overlord or Droplord based all-in. So in my mind, that's what we're setting up for here. But we have the Roach Warren now on the way. It's a little bit mistimed. Curious. What I mean by that is that it's going to take a while for the Roach Warren to finish and to build up roaches. The Overlord Speed is going to be done well ahead of time. No shot, we just use it for scouting information. As now we have a Gateway Explosion, Forge, Twilight Council on the way, getting to our upgrades. It does look like +1 and Blink. It could be Charge. We could see a Charge-based follow-up. And here come the Droplords. Again, it is a little bit mistimed here when it comes to the upgrades finishing and tech being available. I love the idea of this lining up with, say, roaches in the main. There is still larva here. We can hold on to this and make use of it later. Okay, 18 Lings on the way. I'm still expecting... There we go. Ooh, I was expecting roaches, but okay, Lings are being built. Does create those Zerglings. Erik, he does commit across the map. Battery's now on the way. MasTeR is getting ready. He's getting ready for the all-in. And the battery's going to be done in time. So far, Lings, they do pop out. They head for the mineral line. They head for the natural. Queen's going to be dropping in. Oh, we have to be careful with this. Another... Oof. Okay, Creeper spread. Creeper's doing shred. Wood having the army. Again, the batteries are about to finish. That's 3 batteries. Yeah, they're about to finish up. Erik doesn't quite have enough. He does get 4 probe kills here in the natural. Decent damage. Yeah, decent damage. And we attempt to drop into the main, but there are Stalkers in position. Oracles as well. Oh, going for the Oracles. Okay. He gets 1. Not bad. Takes down the Oracle. The all-in continues. Oh, but there just aren't really many roaches here. Yeah, Erik doesn't have enough. Does not have enough. Droplord force back. And Erik behind this starts to turn. Late turns, late saturation. MasTeR, he is miles ahead economically. His natural base is fully saturated. His third is even fully saturated. Erik, he can try to outposition his opponents and ideally fight out of range of the batteries. But outside of that, he won't be able to break this position. Oh. Stalkers are going for the dive. They attempt to go for the dive. Lings, they do slip in. Yeah, they slip in the main. Decent run by Queens. They go for the... Oh no, the Queens! Ooh, Queens go down. Attempt to drop there out of Erik. Attempt to drop. And From here, Erik pulls out. Let's pull out. Let's get the hell out of here. Behind this, going for the infestation pits. Now, I feel like if we were covering another player, I'd assume pits into hive into ultras. For Erik specifically, this might be for infestors. It might be for a swarm host even as well. Considering the game state, the fact that Erik is behind economically, I can see the rationale behind going for something like Swarm Host just to gain value, but okay, it is going to be a Hydrogen, so not going to be Swarm Host. It does look like Hive Tech, or at least Infestors. Never mind. Oh. As Hive is on the way. He will get across the map. Once again, trying to distract, but MasTeR, I mean, he's in position. Oh, late reaction. Okay. Late reaction. Fourth base is canceled. Nice, now the expansion. As things they move in once again, not bad, forcing another cancel. And MasTeR moves in. He moves in, does commit. The Hydra production is still underway. There's still not much of an army here. MasTeR can break through. He's got Storm. Jeez. He does Storm. He has Archons, no charge, but again, I don't think that's quite necessary here. Storm stays zone. I would say panic second Storm. MasTeR pulling away, and we are rushing into Hive Tech Lurkers. Once again, the economy is still quite low here for Erik, but the goal should be to turtle, right? It should be to just build up a low amount of, or an amount of Lurkers, keep up with the army rotations, turtle up, defend, and then force a longer game. I would say that MasTer's playing very scared. MasTeR, 100% he could have kept pushing. Could have kept pushing up the ramp and broken this position, especially with all these storms. So MasTeR, he's missing his opportunity. And Erik does get away with his Lurkers. He's getting away with it. Erik going for his own Lurker run by. He's moving out across the map. See Lurkers who's done away. Lurk around by here, forcing a recall, distracting. MasTeR is maxed out, and it's difficult to really see a world where Erik gets out of this unless MasTer's hyper passive, right? Like MasTer is maxed out, he's building up Tempest as we speak. He's got a decent immortal based army as well. He's lacking detection though. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, the observer has arrived. We dive on in. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lurkers falling, massive damage. Takes down 5 Lurkers. And MasTeR, he can just keep pushing in. He can just keep pushing in. There's 3 Lurkers left. God damn. MasTeR still only has 1 observer. That is a bit of concern. But there we go. Catching out 2. Low Lurkers. MasTeR moving in. We have 6 Lurkers left in position. The immortal count can break through this, but we still have to be careful about the observer. There's only 1. Like, I'm still concerned about the lack of detection. If Erik can bring it down, he can hold. Well, there's no anti-air. No. At the same time, MasTer's distracted. Erik does move in. MasTeR, he turns around. Yeah, he turns everything around here. So this is very successful here for Erik. Erik, he's in a really rough position, but he's buying time. He's buying time. Does force the army to turn around. As even an Archon goes down as well, so decent trades here. Can we get another Archon? He can! Oh my god. Yeah, 2 Archons full. Revelation runs out. And there he's replenishing his lurkers. Building them back up. The fact that we have only now thrown down the additional Stargates, I mean, this is slowing down MasTeR when it comes to his Skytoss transition. MasTeR rotates, lurkers are in position. Does pick up 1 lurker. No shot Erik can max out. No shot. He's on the way. He's on the way, baby. Morphing in 6 more lurkers. I mean, because the ground army of MasTeR is so, or I should say, because this army is so ground focused, going into mass lurker like this can actually work. Like Erik, there's a world where he can win a fight. Like he has turtled up enough. Like he was down 80 supply, by the way, and now he's going up to the point where he's catching up. He's maxing out. He's gonna have a comparable army, and again, it was a late switch in the Skytoss. This is only just now the 2nd Tempest. Now with this amount of lurkers, MasTeR cannot move in. Yeah, cannot move in. This base will go down. Nice pickup. Catching the expansion. MasTeR turns around. The moment this happens, Erik, he can move out. He can hit another one of these bases. Catching out 10 probes. 10 probes, catching a High Templar. Erik moving further in. Night Storm into the main base. Oh, does MasTeR notice? Does he notice? He does. It's going to be a bit of a later reaction, though. Erik breaking out. So now, I mean, again, now he's maxed. No shot. Can he pull this off, Pappy? Getting the observer. Does pull back. Does reinforce. No detection. Wait, what? Ooh, oh my god, just free damage on the High Templar. Yeah, Templar gonna be going down. Massive pickoffs. MasTeR having no detection. Looks they push on the left hand side. And again, MasTER's taking some really rough fights as of late. He's slowly building up his Tempest counts, even here, cleaning up all the lurkers. Not bad. Finally, a bit of a better fight for MasTeR. Oof. Erik, can he catch out the observers? Oof. So we have a better angle of attack. The lurkers are not quite done. We're getting on top of the lurkers, and finally a better fight here for MasTeR. They're catching out the Hydras. The slow zone is brutal. And he takes the fight. Does take the fight. Erik rotating over. Once again, Erik, he wants to try to force MasTeR to respond. Erik moves in, and MasTeR counterattacks. He does counterattack, gets across the map. Pushing through the bases, only 3 lurkers to defend, and this time MasTeR, he's undeterred. Yeah, this time he just commits. He goes in. Erik, he's making this as messy as possible. Very messy. MasTeR, you can't just commit. Commits to the bases, knocking down more expansions, denying the economy. Erik, he's gaining some ground here, but the reality is MasTeR can always recall, right? That's the issue, is that they can always be a recall. And once that happens, MasTeR will clean this up. Even now, cashing out one of the lurkers. It's 4 lurkers left. There's that recall. Nice pick out of Erik. But now you have the recall, and there's no Overseer. The one chance here would be to maybe snipe the observers. Maybe. There's what, 4 observers with the main army. Erik has to pull away. And Erik will lose his army at the same time pushing forward. There's a mothership. No more lurkers. No. Yeah, 0 lurkers left. 0 lurkers left for Erik. Just purely Ling Hydra. And again, Erik, he somewhat made a game out of this. He was dead in the water like, what, 10, 12 minutes ago. But MasTeR, he was very tentative. He was very, very tentative, very scared about pushing in and trying to break the original like lurker line as well. So MasTeR, I would say MasTeR was just overly scared and overly safe this game. But in the end, I mean, he's fine. He's still got his 4 bases. He got to a Sky Toss. Now he's got how many? He's got 7 Tempest. It's a lot of Tempest back. He made it. GG gets called. MasTeR does it well, and MasTeR takes game at number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, MasTeR, he found himself with a very nice lead early on. Erik, he had gone for a failed all-in, if you remember. He went for the Ling, Roach, Queen all-in with drop lords. It was very messy, and honestly, it wasn't really worth it. That's the moment that Erik fell behind, where Erik, he failed to break the 3rd base, and he didn't get much damage done in the main base either. So from that moment, MasTeR was looking very comfortable, very secure. We saw that MasTeR built up his force with Immortals, with Archons, with Storm as well. He had like 4 High Templar, plenty of Storms, but he chose not to push up the ramp. Again, to be fair, he didn't know how many lurkers there were, but it was a very low lurker count. He chose not to push up. He missed his window, he missed his timing, and Erik did eventually max out, and he had a chance, and he was doing well for himself, but he had no economy. Because of that, Erik, as he bled out units, he couldn't replace them. Could not replace them, could not replenish his army. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are now getting game 2. Going to be loading into 10,000 feet. Let's go. Let's go. So we're jumping to game 2. This time it's going to be a much smaller map. I would say that here there's a better opportunity for Erik to be aggressive and to be chaotic. On these smaller maps, that's where aggression can be more unforgiving and you can catch everyone off guard. I would say that Winter Madness might be one of the worst maps for Erik because it's a little more standard, it's a little larger, a little more defensive. It can be very, very difficult to pull off some shenanigans. But here we go. This morning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss, we have the Brazilian Protoss representing Team Hellfire, leading the series 1-0. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Here we go. So we are going to be jumping in. And once again, the drone moves out. Now, last game, this did actually lead into a proxy hatchery inside of the main base of MasTeR. True, did lead into it. As Erik does move out. And we'll see if he can hatch block this time. Once again, MasTeR does pull 2 of the boys. Does pull the boys in. Will ensure that he can expand. Behind this, Erik does get his gas and his spawning pool. So far, just like last time. Eric's heading to the main. Again, just trying to force some inefficient mining. And I would imagine that Eric's going to go for the hatchery again for a second time, if possible. Eric's trying to make room. Gets hit. There's space. And Erik does have the money. And there's the expansion. It does go for the expansion in the end. So with this, again, the goal, I would imagine, is to try to force an overreaction. But just like last time, MasTeR does leave it alone. Ignores the hatchery. Should be working on a safety battery here. Safety. Oh, yeah, Stargates into a safety battery. Into Oracles. So far, everything's looking the same. This hatchery gets turned down to the main. We send the hatchery behind this. We're still just droning. Saturating link speed is on the way. Pulling back into gas a little bit earlier. True. So we have earlier gas income. This can lead into earlier lair. That's what we're expecting here. Into earlier tech. There's that shield battery. Stalker in the main. We have the one Stork in the main base, so still holding on to all that larva. We can then make 6 things here and then try to get some economic damage done. Or try to line it up with some aggression as well. Erik has a lot of gas, by the way. We did point out that Erik, he went into gases early and he's got almost 200 gas. There we go. Now we're going for the lair. We could have gone this a little bit sooner here just because of the high amount of gas we have. We have more gas income, second gas geyser. Are we going into mutas? Like, with this amount of gas? Oh, no. Okay, we're doing the same thing. Going for Overlord speed. So lair alongside Overlord speed into a drop lord based all in. This game is looking very similar to game 1. Very similar. I'm waiting for the Roach Warren. Oh. Left shades in, getting 1, getting 2 drones, 3 drones even. Oh my god. 3 drones go down. And this might just be a Link Queen Nidus all in. I feel like if the plan was to go Roaches, we would see Roach Warren by now. So we have 3 queens? 4. Okay, good. Here come the Double Lords. 4 queens on the way. Baneliness as well. This is going to be a lot better time compared to last time. It's going to be a bit of a crisper build. And can Erik break the expand? He's still holding onto that larva. As he moves out of that's moving. Oh no, the adepts. He can commit. He can't commit to the shade. Oh, does go in. Link's forced to engage. The oracles they can't support. Yeah, they support the adepts as well. Getting 3 more kills. This delays the all in. He spots the drop alert as well. He knows. And bam, batteries. Yeah, batteries are being thrown down. Precious seconds are bought. He's able to buy time. Yeah, Links, they move in. This was supposed to be lined up, but not anymore. Yeah, it's not lined up here. Links are dealt with, and now MasTeR can focus on the main defense. At the same time, Erik dropping into the main. So let's go for his drop. Yeah, Link drop is going to be denied. At the same time, the main army collapses in, but there's 2 batteries, soon to be 3. Yeah, 3 batteries here on the front lines. The Stalkers are being saved, the Oracles commit in, Queen's being focused down, and MasTer's holding. And MasTer, he's holding on. It will cost him one of the Oracles. But MasTer now, he's up 20 workers. Oh my god. Yeah, massive economy. Behind this, we can see Erik going for the Spire, going into Muta play. This does make sense given the gases being taken and given the lair timing as well. But it's a rough position here. As Erik will lose everything, and now Erik is vulnerable to a counterattack. We just have to wait for Blink. Like, once Blink finishes, MasTeR can start to be active and aggressive. But the Lings will keep him busy. Now Lings move out. Another Ling drop. Muta production has begun. MasTeR does push. And MasTeR does he react in time. Yeah, he's getting his one Stalker. You know, MasTeR blinks in, goes to the mineral line. Drone's going to be going down. We have Zelts to defend here at the third base, but that's 8 probe kills. Oh my god. Okay. We get some decent damage. Third base does full. MasTeR can always recall. Can always recall. Cannon defends in the main. MasTeR, he keeps pushing. There's that recall. Once again, you can argue that we could have kept pushing at this point, but it does recall back home, just keeps everything safe. Building up the Archons and the Phoenixes, and Erik is applied blocks. Oof, he's double expanding. I mean, Erik, he's desperate here for some kind of economy and some damage as well. I will say that Mutas have a lot of potential to deal harassing damage. It can be quite difficult to keep up with Mutalisks, even with a handful of Phoenixes. So there's potential here to keep MasTeR busy while double expanding. But once again, there's just a lot of pressure on Erik's Mutas. Oh. So one Mutalisk goes down. Lings, they attempt to come in from behind. To move in. Oh. And as we're building on more Phoenixes, this is where we have to switch out of Muta. We do have +2 flyer attack on the way for Erik, and that will help. But I'm waiting to see if he does just double down. If he doubles down or not, as we have a lot of Phoenixes at this point. Oof. Catching on more Mutalisks, now going to Corruptor, so he's committing into the air. The Corruptors, they built a tank. They built a tank Phoenixes, while Mutas can maybe deal DPS. Erik looking for another way in. Collapsing forward. Gets an Archon. Gets one. Gets one. Does get barely get the second. But he has to get out of here. Oof. He has to pull away. Trades 1-to-1. Yeah, he's supported by the battery. No, catching up 3, catching up with more Mutas. Catching up more Mutalisks. Yeah, we just got ahead. We get across the map. GG gets called as Erik, he has no standing army, and MasTeR, who'll claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. MasTeR will claim the series. Again, just a really rough early game there for Erik, both in game 1 and game 2, where we committed into an all-in, but MasTeR, he was able to scout and able to prepare, right? So if you recall this game specifically, Erik, he loaded up the queens, he flooded across the map, and then bam, it upset the mineral line. And that delayed, right? That forced everything back home. And Erik revealed his drop lord to the adepts as well in attempts to defend. So again, he was scouted, he was found out. That gave MasTeR time to throw down 3 batteries back at home to secure his third. And MasTeR was fine, right? He held on quite well. He was up 20 workers after the defense and just snowballed out of control. There was always potential with Mutalisk play from Erik, but again, we saw a second Stargate. Erik was supply blocked as well and couldn't quite get it going. GG. GG, well played. MasTeR will claim the series. Erik is going to be knocked down to the lower bracket. Now, thankfully, when it comes to Amantes, it is a double elimination tournament. I will say that hopefully, I mean, we'll see how Erik will approach MasTeR once again in the future. But when it comes to this series here, yeah, again, like it was scouted quite early on. It was confirmed, and MasTeR, he just played very safe, very defensive, and was able to shut him down. Did shut him down in the end. With that, we're going to be following MasTeR into his next series. It is going to be a best of 5 up next. Oh my god. It's going to be a best of 5 here between MasTeR and Kamikaze. Now, Kamikaze, he's a Brazilian Terran player, and Kamikaze has been slowly rising through the ranks here throughout the course of our most recent months. Even made it to the offline event, to El Circuito Brasileiro. Like, I was very shocked. I was very surprised to see Kamikaze of all players make it there. If you remember, Kamikaze actually knocked MasTeR out of the circuit, and MasTeR, who was slated to make it to the playoffs and maybe even win the entire tournament, or at least have a finals against Erik, he was denied that by Kamikaze. True. Kamikaze cheesed them out. It was just non-stop all-ins at a Kamikaze, and it worked. Did work in the end.